Hi guys, I've got quite a lot of stuff to talk about today, so I'm going to get straight on with it. The weather has. I was starting to kind of get into a spring mode, and then it's gone really cold again. Keep waking up, and it's like 2 or 3 degrees. It's like, ugh. So, anyway, there's been a bit of sweet stuff again this week, a bit of stuff that I normally wear in colder weather, but I've got a few new things to talk about as well. And just a few things that aren't necessarily new in terms of the scents, but are new to my collection. So I'm going to start though with something that's brand new. This is Tuto Tondo. This is Rizo. So I did an order a while back. I've been looking. This has been in my wish list for a really long time. I ordered 3 of them and got some samples as well. So I will do a proper like house review when I have time. But Rizo is one that I saw when I was looking for rice notes on Fragrantica. But I also recently heard Chris from the Perfume Nest talking about this, and she really likes it. She normally talks about quite expensive perfumes, so it was quite nice to see an affordable one, and I was really interested in it. But first off, the first time I ever heard about Tuto Tondo was from Delicious Delights. And she was talking about tiramisu. And as soon as I heard the word tiramisu, which is one of my all-time favourite desserts, I was like, I need to get that perfume. It's not really easy to find them in the UK, but there was a company called FR Moda who have a website who were willing to post to the UK from Europe. So I was waiting for a little while until like payday, and then I ordered a bunch from that site. And actually, to be honest, I'm just going to put it out there now. They were incredible. So it was expensive to get them shipped over. I got 3 perfumes with some samples, and it was £16 to get them shipped. Now these are normally £35, but they were on special for 26, so that's why I went for it. I was like, I'm just going to get the 3 that I've been really interested in, and there's another couple that I just wanted to smell that I thought I might be interested in, and they will give you samples for free from that site. It's the most professional site I've ever ordered from. Like, absolutely every stage of the way, they emailed me to tell me what status my order was. They shipped it almost immediately. Every stage through Europe, I got an email to tell me where it was and when it was gonna move to next. And then as soon as it was in the UK, I mean, it was delivered so quickly, it was insane. I've ordered things from the UK that have taken longer. So if you've been looking at these on FR Moda and you're in the UK, then I highly recommend them. I think they were exceptionally good. No problems at all. And they also chucked in a load of little samples of the Tuto Tondo shower gels. So anyway, I will be able to do a big review. I've been talking for ages already. So Riso, this is the box. Um, right, bottle, very cute. So this one I was really interested in because of the rice note. I was interested in it just generally. I thought the notes looked really good. The Fragrantica notes are not complete, so I've got the ones from the actual site. And Chris was saying about this one that she thought it smelled like rice pudding. And I do get a little bit of that, but I think actually, to be honest, and probably the same with all of these, they're freshies. And I guess because they're made with the Italian climate in the back of the mind, all the ones that I smell have quite a freshness to them, even when they have very sweet gourmand elements. So this has top notes of raspberry, mandarin, and ozone. Heart notes of frangipani, steamed rice, accord, and rose. Base notes of amberwoods, moss, and vanilla. I get a beautiful, fruity, bright, fresh, proper freshy vibe when I first spray this, with the steamed rice note at that point smelling almost a bit like a bit musty. I always find the smell of rice quite musty. I like the general feel it gives to a perfume, but when it's like exceptionally realistic, so like in Eau Papier by Diptyque, sometimes it can smell a little bit musty, a little bit mousy, like a bit of a strange smell. So I get a little bit of that first, where it's slightly savoury, if you see what I mean. But then the more it dries down, you have a kind of light florals. So you've got a bit of that frangipani, you've got a bit of the rose. And then you retain that kind of juiciness that you get with the fruits. But then the vanilla comes through to match up with that rice. And it does have a very light kind of rice puddingy smell. So I would say with this one though, don't expect it to actually smell like rice pudding, because it doesn't smell like rice pudding. What it smells like more so is a big bowl of like stewed fruits, or maybe like a fruit smoothie, because it's not like a particularly warm or cooked smell. If you imagine like a delicious fruit smoothie, and you've just got a little tiny pot of rice pudding to the side and then a little bunch of flowers. That's kind of the vibe I get. I think it's super pretty. I wore this for a whole day, really enjoy it. It's got a perfect level of sweetness to match with that lovely raspberry and mandarin. It's super pretty. It's not massively floral. This one is more gourmand than some of the others, I would say. Yeah, I really like it and I highly recommend it. I think it's a real bargain. It's really pretty. It's just a really nice perfume. I like the company so far. So next up, this is just one I got on eBay. It's a partial bottle. I wanted to know what this one smells like because I have the little mini of the original. This is the flanker. So this is Terra de Lumiere from L'Occitane. This is the LO version. I don't know why it doesn't say LO, but you can tell because of this bottle, right? It's just be able to show it. Just gonna make sure that this is bright enough. It's kind of weird weather at the moment, but anyway. So Terra de Lumiere LO has notes of bergamot, blackcurrant and pink pepper, middle notes of peony and bitter almond, base notes of musk and tonka bean. So I really like the original. I actually did just manage to order a partial bottle from eBay for, not a ridiculous price, because they did tell me from L'Occitane that the original Terra de Lumiere is going to be back in spring, or at least they said keep my eye out in spring, which, basically I assume means it's going to be back. But I think you can get this one as well, but it's not in these bottles anymore. So I think it's possible if they bring it back, it's going to be in one of the boring, like tall, plain bottles. So, and also to be fair, they are quite expensive. So I've ordered one from eBay. I managed to just get a buy it now on a half bottle. So that should be coming soon. I really like that one. It's a beautiful honey, almond, sweet. It's just such a beautiful honey perfume. It's lovely. This one I thought I'd try, and it does actually still have a little bit of that DNA in it. It's not as sweet, definitely, and it's not as honeyed, but it does have like an almond. It's got the sweet tonka bean, and it definitely still smells like a L'Occitane perfume. But for me, I just find the peony in here so screechy and unpleasant. I just really like. I can understand why people really like this one, because I don't know. I don't get on very well with peony generally, right? But I don't know if it's one of those situations where this has something in it, like some kind of aroma chemical or just something that's in a few perfumes that is just really like needle in the eye for me. The same with other perfumes I've talked about on here before. Sometimes they just have a sharpness that feels unexplained, and it's like, yeah, it doesn't feel like it's a note, it just is like a feeling, because the level of sweetness in this one for a peony perfume is actually quite good, but yeah, there's just something sitting, like with the Lancome Idole perfumes for me, that's just screechy. It's not too bad from the bottle. It's almost got a kind of slight pencil shaving-y vibe, which is almost like, like a sort of cashmere woody kind of smell. But yeah, that one, I don't love it. I'm not going to keep it. I'll pass it on. But I do love the bottle. It's super pretty. And I think if you like spring florals, you might be into it. But for me personally, it just doesn't really work on my skin, which is a shame, because I can recognise it's a really pretty perfume, but it's just not for me. So I talked about this one. I had a little video about this, like a solo video on Friday. This is Jungle Cobra. And this is the perfume that I suspect, but I'm not absolutely sure because I've never smelled the original, but I suspect this is a dupe of Tender Poison by Christian Dior, which is the poison in a green bottle that's been discontinued for some time. So I wore this one to work and it was super fun to wear. Yeah, it's like the love child of it's got such a crazy bottle, like a snaky bottle. So Jungle Cobra from Saffron London, and I do know these are probably really difficult to get hold of outside of the UK, so sorry guys, but I'm afraid there's not really much I can do about that, and I don't know what to tell you. You know, I just got this off Amazon. You can get them on Amazon UK and eBay UK, and you can get them directly from the Saffron London website. So yeah, I'm sorry if you can't get these outside of the UK, but I'm obviously UK based, so hence talking about UK perfumes. This one, it's really like a mashup of Cabotin de Grez and the original Poison. It's still got that honeyed tuberose, but it's not got plum. It's a bit more citrusy, it's a bit brighter, it's a bit greener. So if I read the notes from Poison, because I've no idea what the notes are in this, this has Asafoetida, which is that weird one that's like called Devil's Dung or something. It's supposed to smell like onions and leeks. So bergamot, Brazilian rosewood, and mandarin orange. The middle notes are tuberose, honey, orange blossom, freesia, rose. Base notes are musk, sandalwood, heliotrope, and vanilla. So there's definitely a slightly unusual smell in this that I wouldn't have known how to describe, but I'm guessing it's that oniony leek thing. But it doesn't smell savoury. It's just, yeah, it's really hard to explain what that is. But it is like a lighter, brighter, more spring-like version of Poison. That's what this smells like. I think this one was actually surprisingly strong and long-lasting. Like I did spray a fair bit because it's a cheap perfume, but it lasted incredibly well. It lasted really well on my clothes, pretty well on my skin. I reckon I got, let me see, I would have put this on at about 8-ish, and I don't think I needed to, or even thought about reapplying till about like 2 or something like that. So pretty good. It was only about £7. I think it's really pretty. I really like it, and I'm really happy to have it. I've also ordered one they've got called, it's not called Cobra, it's called Mamba Juice. And I'd seen it, and I was like, oh, that's a Saffron London one. I bet you that's Hypnotic Poison. So I ignored it because I don't like Hypnotic Poison. I don't need a dupe of it. And then I was searching for something. I was looking at the other Saffron perfumes because I thought, I wonder if there's a way that I can sample some of these dupes and see how they are for other perfume brands and other things that they dupe. And then I saw, I think it's like a Netherlands site, and it said that it was actually, it said Mamba Juice. And then in the little write-up, which was, to be fair, in a different language, but the only bit I could really understand was Pure Poison. So I was like, right, okay, so I've ordered that one to see if that is actually a dupe of Pure Poison. And if it is, I will let you know. Again, it's in a different bottle, so they haven't kept it all within the same kind of bottles for their poison stuff. But yeah, they might be one of the few dupe brands that hasn't got a Hypnotic Poison dupe. Okay, so next up, let's talk about... I wore Green Lover. So it's that thing, I was like, oh, I think it's not maybe cold enough at the moment, or it's getting to spring, so I'm going to go for this instead of Lolita Land. But to be honest, it was actually cold enough. I could have just worn Lolita Land. And the thing with this one, Green Lover by Lolita Lempicka is supposed to be for men. And I'm going to ask my husband to try this at some point, because I do think this is pretty straight down the middle unisex, but I think some people would find this too masculine, where other people might find it too feminine. So I think some women would find it too masculine and some men would find it too feminine. But it has exactly the same vanilla in it that you get in Lolita Land. So, but it's a brighter, fresher, lighter, kind of greener version of that kind of scent. It has a gin and tonic note in it, and you really smell it. You really get that bitter tanning and the kind of floral alcohol quality that you get with gin and tonic. So you've got green, mandarin and pepper in the top. And then in the mid, you've got gin, mint and juniper berries. And in the base notes, you've got Madagascar, vanilla and musk. It's super pretty. It's really fresh, but it's also really sweet. Yeah, it's definitely got that lovely custardy vanilla that you get in Lolita Land. It's great. It's really pretty. And it's a weird one though, because like I do really enjoy wearing it, but then occasionally I'll just sniff it and be like, I think I'm bored of this now. So I'm not sure if it's like a whole day like joy for me, if you see what I mean. Like I'll have a few hours where I love it, and then after maybe after lunchtime, I wore this to work and I was like, okay, I quite like to put something else on now. But the thing is, it's actually quite strong, and it lasted it lasted all day, so I didn't put anything else on, and I did end up topping it up. But yeah, I just feel like maybe I just prefer Lolita Land, and I'll see if my husband likes this one because I think he'd smell great in it because he smells really nice in sweet perfumes. But I don't know. Every time I think about decluttering this, I kind of can't because I sniff it and I'm like, oh my God, it's amazing. But we'll see. We'll see how this one goes. I do think it's a really beautiful green vanilla. But again, you see, now I've got that Lalique one that has the bay leaf note. That's also got a strange kind of green vanilla vibe to it too, but it's kind of a bit warmer and slightly less of that bitter juniper berry kind of scent. I'm thinking about it. I don't know. I don't know whether this is going to be with me forever or whether it might just be a short-term affair. All right. So we've got 2 body sprays. So I got God is a Woman. And I got this one, the Ariana Grande, because I really love God is a Woman. It's a beautiful rose, pear and ambrette perfume. And I've never I've never smelt anything that smells just like it because of that rose. But the perfume has that tar smell in it. It's got that horrible thing that I can't abide. And this doesn't. So this is the answers, I think, to a lot of my Ariana Grande problems, is that I just need to get the body sprays and not the perfumes, because the perfumes have the fixant in or whatever the hell it is. It smells like tar, possibly Veramos, I don't know. And it just disgusts me. I can't bear it on my skin. It's just horrible, horrible burning rubber and wood smell. This doesn't have that. This just smells like God is a Woman. So it's so pretty. So it's got it's got pear and ambrette in the top. It's got orris and then Turkish rose in the mid, and then the base notes are Madagascar, vanilla and sandalwood. Mainly, this is an incredibly juicy pear, a very fluffy ambrette, like a fluffy, slightly musky scent. Actually, it's quite musky, but not in an animalic musk, like ambrette, that fluffy musk, And then Turkish rose. And it's just such a pretty rose. It's so nice. It's so nice. I really like this one. This is my this is my favourite. I do love Thank You Next, but I think this is my favourite Ariana Grande. And I think it's the one that a lot of people don't like, but I also think it gives me a similar feeling to Donna Aqua. It doesn't actually smell the same as Donna Aqua, but it gives me that same feeling wearing it, of this beautiful, sweet, juicy pear with this kind of fluffiness underneath. With that one, it's almond, but with this one, it's like ambrette. It's so pretty. So anyway, I think there is rose in Donna Aqua as well. They don't list it on Fragrantica, but on the carded sample, there's rose in that one. Although, to be fair, Frangipani is the strongest floral in Donna Aqua. Okay. Because I got this one, I can't even remember where I got it from, but it was on a special offer. It was like 2 for whatever. And I've already got Thank You Next, which is the same. Again, I can actually wear that one because it doesn't have that horrible, like, bitter tar note in it. So I got this one, Moonlight, just to try, because I haven't tried this one before. I think I saw Carmen Centrix talking about this one, and she was saying that this is like a slightly more grown-up version of Sweet Like Candy and Ari, and I don't like Sweet Like Candy or Ari. This one, I do agree, it is a more grown-up version, but I still don't like it. It smells... It just smells too much like a celebrity perfume, and I love, you know what I mean, like a generic celebrity perfume, in that this could be like a Justin Bieber, it could be a Britney Spears, it could be, I don't know, Cher Lloyd. It could just be anything, I don't think it does smell a little bit like those two. It is similar to Ari and similar to Sweet Like Candy, but yeah, I'm not mad for this one. It's not like one I heartily dislike. I probably could use this like it's generally as like a room spray. I could probably use it as a bathroom spray or something. I don't hate it. I just don't enjoy how I smell in it. I don't feel... It doesn't feel like me, if that makes sense. It doesn't quite feel like me. So this is one that I'll either use as a room spray or like a bedding spray or something, or or I'll just give it away, or you know, I don't know. But it's not one that I actually want to wear. Whereas God is a Woman, I kind of want to wear that all the time at the moment. I'm really into it. So, all right, let's move ahead. Ooh, oh, so lush. I mean, again, I just wear it all the time. Stash, Unspoken from Sarah Jessica Parker. You can see I'm actually starting to get a decent dent in this one. I do have a rollerball that I take to work when I wear this, and the rollerball is like half empty now. I love, love, love this perfume. Second skin in cold weather. I really got the honeysuckle this time round. I don't know why. I don't know whether it was because it was like damp weather or something, but oh, so lush. I just love it. You guys know, if you watch me a lot, you know I wear this all the time. I just love this perfume. So the notes are top notes of quince, pink pepper, middle notes of honeysuckle, peony and wisteria, base notes tonka bean, sandalwood, musk and olibanum. It is, for me, mainly tonka bean, sandalwood, bit of musk, a tiny hint of quince and a lot of honeysuckle I got this time. It's so powdery and sweet and cozy and beautiful. I got 2 comments on this. And when I say comments, I mean people told me I smelled nice. So I went to the parcel shop and there was a lady next to me at the till, and she literally said to me, "You smell lovely." And then she said, "You smell really lovely." And then the guy working behind the till said to me, "Oh, it's really nice. It's sweet, but it's not too sweet. It's not sickly." And I was like, "Oh, nice. Okay." It's beautiful. You do need to overspray it, but when you overspray it, you've got an amazing scent bubble. It actually, to be honest, it lasts for quite a long time if you get it on your clothes. So like, again, I didn't need to reapply this until lunchtime. So it's like, I'm getting like maybe, I don't know, 4-6 hours when it's on my clothes and my skin. But yeah, you do need to overspray this one. It's not just like a couple of sprays. This is like a lot of sprays. If you like Scarlet Poppy from Jo Malone, you'll probably really like this because that's what it reminds me of. It gives me that same feeling, and it's why I've never bought Scarlet Poppy, because I actually like this one better. And I've got 2 backups of this because I'm obsessed. I wear it all the time. So yeah, absolutely beautiful and approved by people outside of my own home. So then, oh God, I love this perfume. It's so strong and it's so sweet and it's so good. And it's another one of those that's a perfect pair. So this is Burberry Brit. So it's another one. I basically this week wore both of my kind of in the realm of Donna Aqua perfumes. And obviously that one's discontinued. This is like a stronger and tangier Donna Aqua kind of feel. And this is a lighter, softer, not quite as sweet Donna Aqua kind of feel, but they both have beautiful pear in them. So Burberry Brit, this is the EDP, always the EDP. EDT is brighter, fresher, slightly more masculine, but it dries down essentially to smell like the EDP. So you might as well just get the EDP. That's my personal opinion. Anyway, because that one has lemongrass in it, which I think some people can struggle with. But this is top notes of almond, lime and pear, middle notes of candied almond, sugar and peony, base notes vanilla, tonka bean, amber and mahogany. Now, the amber and mahogany in here makes this a deeper, much stronger perfume than something like Donna Aqua. But and obviously the lime is like very, very zesty when you first spray it, like just gorgeous. But when it dries down, you get this amazing sweet creamy almond, beautiful custardy vanilla, lovely sweet tonka bean, and then you still got that lovely hint of pear. It's just so lush. I love wearing this one, but I can only wear it in cold weather because it is very strong. If I try to wear this in warmer weather, then I get too much amber and too much mahogany coming through. But in cold weather, it's just so sugary, sweet and pretty. Oh, such a good one. Absolute classic. All right. Talking of a classic, but it's one that hasn't been in my collection very long because my husband bought me this for Christmas. Oh, I'm going through a thing. Bear with me because I am going through a thing with the Mon Guerlain profile. I just cannot get enough of this delicious, like licorice lavender thing. I can't get enough of it. It's so delicious. This is the original, the EDP. So this is just Mon Guerlain EDP. So this is lavender bergamot in the top, middle notes iris, jasmine, sambac and rose, base notes Tahitian vanilla, coumarin, Australian sandalwood, licorice, benzoin and patchouli. So I sort of have 4 perfumes that are in this general profile. You see that I wear chill out a lot to bed now, or I like spray it on my sheets, or I just spray it around me. But I generally I wear that one because I'm a bit obsessed. And that one is like, if you take out the jasmine, you take out some of the more florally notes here, and you amp up the licorice maybe a bit and amp up the vanilla. That's what that one smells like. It's even more lavendery. This one's a bit softer and a bit more floral. And then I have obviously this one, which my husband very kindly got me for my for Christmas, and I absolutely love it. And I feel like a cozy grown-up queen in it. It's just, it's got. I mean, it's weird. Like, I'm not sure that I would describe it as sexy because I think it's a bit soft, but I think it is sexy in that soft way, if you see what I mean. It's just, it's sexy in like in a comforting way rather than like a vampy way. It's just, it makes me feel so beautiful. I think that's what it is. And I think a lot of women, if they actually feel beautiful, can feel quite sexy at the same time. So it makes me feel beautiful, very ladylike, super pretty. So I have this one, and then I have the intense version, and that's the one I got because this doesn't last very long. So I was wearing this around the house, but if I wear it out in this cold weather, I'm reaching for the intense. And then I have a little tiny bottle of the Guess Seductive Noir. And Guess Seductive Noir, I would say, when I run out of this original one, I would just get Guess Seductive Noir, and then I'll stick probably to the intense. In terms of like actually having the real thing, because that one's more vanillic, it's stronger, it's just more beastly, it lasts longer, so it's better value. I just honestly, the Guess Seductive Noir is a fabulous perfume, and it's got a little bit less of that licorice if you don't like licorice, but it still smells like the Mon Guerlain profile. Anyway, I love this perfume. I can't get enough of it. I want to wear it all the time. But obviously I've got so many perfumes I don't wear it all the time, but I want to wear it all the time. It's lush. Yeah, it's crazy because I've had the chill out, and I had the Guess Seductive Noir that, because it smelled a bit like chill out, I just had in a box and I wasn't wearing. And then when I went away with my husband for our anniversary stroke honeymoon and we did our little first video together, I had a little sample of this and I just fell in love with it so much. Maybe it's because I wore it at such a beautiful time in such a beautiful place and with such a beautiful man. That's probably why I fell so deeply for it. But I loved wearing it so much that I sort of had to just get involved with it, and now I'm obsessed. All right, last one. This is Vanille Abricot from Comptoire Sud Pacifique. I just really like... Can you see the liquid? I just always thought these bottles looked like they were metal, and I thought they didn't look very nice, but they're actually just a frosted glass, like a kind of metallic frosted glass. So I can see the liquid in here really clearly, and I think it's so cool. Anyway, this is a little tiny 30ml of Vanille Abricots, and I just thought I'd take my chance to wear this before spring comes along, because this might be my sugariest perfume. I think it might be the sweetest perfume I've got. It is so intensely sugary sweet. I could never wear this any other time than very cold weather. And I would never wear it out of the house. I think I'd find it cloying if I wore it like outside. I'm not really sure why that is, but sometimes I do find very sweet perfumes just too much if I'm wearing them out. There has to be a balance of sweetness with maybe some woodiness or some fruit or something. And this one, it does have fruit in it, but it's just so sugary. The notes are listed as apricot, papaya, jackfruit, vanilla and sugar. And it is hardcore sugar. So this is so sugary that it doesn't even smell like fresh apricot. It smells like candied apricot, or like, like dried apricot, where it's intensely like sugary and the flavours really like... Oh, but it's so pretty. There's a lot of vanilla in here. There's a bit of really, really dense, sweet apricot. And probably the jackfruit and papaya as well. It's just a slightly tropical smelling apricot with a ton of vanilla and a shed load of sugar. It's very sweet. It's really pretty. the first time I wore this, my husband told me that I smelt yummy, so I think it's one that he quite likes. Yeah, and weirdly, it's not one that I found too sickly, because I think I guess it's just the balance of the apricot. I guess apricot does have just that slight acidity that maybe is saving this from going too far. Because I've smelt some of the other Sud Pacifique, Comptoire Sud Pacifique stuff, and it's not really worked for me. But this one, for some reason, just does. And the house does seem to have quite a specific DNA. Like, I guess they have a similar vanilla in all of their things, and they all kind of smell the same to me, on a very like baseline level. But this is the one that I really like. This is the one that kind of works best for me. So it was super fun to wear it. I just wore it around the house, just really sweet, tasty, yummy. I've had such a delicious week. Look at that. Oh my goodness. I'm so lucky to have all of this stuff, and I'm so lucky that you guys actually listen to me ramble on about them. This is a fabulous hobby to have, even if it is a slightly expensive one. Um, but my money, I don't make huge amounts of money from YouTube, obviously, because I don't have enough watches or enough subscribers, but I make a little bit, and so that's why I was able to buy the Tuto Tondo ones, because my YouTube money came through, and I was like, right, let's just order these things I've been looking at for ages so I can talk about them on here. And absolutely delicious. Really, really nice. I really recommend Rizo. And I will, like I said, I'll talk to you about the other ones. I wore another one this week, so I'll be able to talk about that in next week's. Coming up this week, what have I got? Oh, I think I might have my Carmen Centrics tag video coming up this week. And then I've recorded my white musk, and my cool musk, I should say, video. So that will be out soon as well, probably the week after. And in the meantime, tell me if you have any of these. Tell me what you've been wearing. Thank you so much for watching. If you're not already subscribed, please do subscribe. It really, 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 really helps me out. So I'll see you in a week's time, and I hope you guys have a beautiful week. Bye!